morning and welcome today to the Good Builder podcast. Today I have a very, very special guest. He's not just a guest, he's actually a bit of a mentor. I met him back in my GJ's days and we talked a lot. So I've known this guy for nearly 10 years now. I think along the way we became mates. Well, I have to go on his mate. I don't know if he's mine, but I really like this guy. He's spent a lot of years leading some of Australia's biggest brands. When I actually met him, he was with James Hardie and doing a phenomenal job, and our entire network loved him. He's now the commercial GM of probably the biggest safety company in Australia, across Australia and New Zealand, at HazardCo. And away from work, he's actually such a weapon. And that's another thing I love about this guy, because I think we're built pretty similar and we like to lift heavy things. And I've got Craig O'Leary here. How are you, mate?
Oh, fantastic. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here, mate.
I think it is about 10 years that we've known each other.
It is.
I think maybe even my Blue Scope days.
It was,
actually.
No, I think it was. I think it was actually, Craig. And I remember, I think I really connected with you on one of our conferences at GJ's. And I remember just chatting to you and thinking, what a legend. You're working with James Hardie. All of our builders loved you. They loved, the thing that I like about you, even when we started The Good Builder, you were the first person I visited. You know that?
Yeah.
So we sat down first of all at that cafe in Brisbane. I said, I'm going to do this. And you're like, what are you doing, man? And we kind of talked through how we were going to monetize it. You helped us out a bit with that. And I really appreciate it. But yeah, it's been over 10 years, man.
Yeah, I remember that conference. I won a bungee jump.
You did?
I won the bungee jump.
Yeah.
And I even said to you when I walked in, I said, I win that.
Yeah, you did.
I don't know if you rigged it.
We were hanging out.
I don't know if you rigged it, but anyway.
I remember we were hanging out there. That was the coolest night, man.
It was good.
Oh, mate. And that's what I mean. You're always a guy. I think one thing about you, mate, is you're a goer. Like, I remember on that particular night, there were a lot of builders that didn't want to bungee jump, and that's okay. I'm not saying you don't have to be as brave as Craig or as, I don't like heights, so I wasn't in the competition. I'll admit that. I wasn't going to do it. But you are always a goer, mate.
Yeah, it's funny with crack.
Yeah.
Those things are crack, mate. Yeah.
I think it's cool. Yeah. Well, mate, let's start. For the people who don't know you, let's talk a little bit about you, personally and professionally.
Yeah.
First of all, you love a bit of the gym and things like that. So, and you've won a recent competition as well in the CrossFit Games.
It was a Masters game. So, for the oldies within my age group, it was good. It's good to know that this rig's still got to get up and go.
Mate, it's a big rig. It's a good rig.
Yeah. So I love my CrossFit. I'm a coach. CrossFit as well. A few days a week. So.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I do that. A few early mornings. Yeah,
oh,
so I enjoy it. I enjoy the community side of it. I'll probably talk a little bit later on about community and, how that relates into health and safety and what we should be doing for the builder community. But
absolutely.
Yeah, I do love my CrossFit. I came from the old gym days.
Yeah.
Sat fitness and
just
lift heavy things and put heavy things down to more of a community-focused sort of environment, which I just love.
And functional.
Yes, it is functional. I mean, I don't know how functional handstands are, but party trick, functional. But yes, I do love it. It's good fun.
Yeah, I remember seeing it on your Instagram, and I chuck up a couple of photos. I'm like, so what? You lift heavy things? I can't do a handstand. I actually can't do anything functional. Yeah. Craig's out there lifting as heavy things as me, as big as me, and then out there throwing himself around like a maniac. So that sounds like a bit of fun. I might get into it one day.
It's fun, but I think the thing about it, and what I love about it is just it's about doing hard things.
Yeah,
and I think I actually did the handstand walking thing was something I said to my daughters, look, I'm going to practice this every day for the next 6 weeks.
Wow.
And my goal is to walk 7 meters on my hands. And they were like, oh, okay. And I did that. I practiced every day on my hands, fell over many times, but, I eventually got there. It's much easier now. But, just to show them that, yes, you can do hard things if you just put your mind to it, put in a bit of time and effort.
Yeah.
I think that mindset ripples into the rest of my life. So I do like taking on a bit. I do like doing more than I probably need to because it is hard, but it's good.
Yeah.
It builds resilience,
Yeah.
mental strength, mental capacity. I love it.
Yeah. No, I've said that, didn't you, mate? You've never shied away, as I said, from a challenge, and you've always led with action. Like you show how to lead. You actually do the things and show your teams. And you did it with us at GJs. I remember you'd provide the best experience, best service. You'd go above and beyond all the time, and it would just show how things should be done.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Is that something that's always been in you?
Yeah, I think I just like getting stuck in.
Yeah.
I think maybe sometimes a bit of a control freak as well. Like,
Yeah.
I do want to have involvement in it. Maybe that's, maybe that could be seen as a weakness as well. And, often there's opportunities to delegate some of that stuff out. But yeah, these days, even being within, the senior ranks within HazardCo, I still love going to, a Mitre 10 conference or a Fit License Expo, or and getting stuck in talking to the customers, talking to trades. It's great. I do love it. The work, the late nights, that's all good. And, I think, perhaps my team does see that and, thinks, yeah, sure, I'll give it a crack as well.
I'll tell you what, not just your team see it, mate. I told a couple of guys, this is no lie. I'll show you text messages after this. But I told a couple of guys and girls that you were coming in today to the office and just coming into the studio, do a podcast with me. Everyone said, Craig is a legend. I saw him at the last event. Everywhere he goes, everywhere I go, he pops up. He's always doing so much for the industry. They said to say good day. And that is no lie, mate. And that is how you're revered in the industry, mate. So
I've been in it a while now, and I started in the building products manufacturer with Blue Scope. They gave me my start in the industry, and
great business.
Oh, amazing business to work for. Love that business. And then the guys at Hardy's continually raise the bar. Great culture there. Really supportive customer. And I'm now in sort of the tech side of it, although probably more passionate about the industry itself and how we can move the needle.
Yeah.
Not from a sales or revenue, but like how we can move the needle for communities.
Yeah.
Because safety is not just about ticking boxes. It has a much bigger ripple effect. So we can talk about that as well.
Yeah. Oh, mate. Yeah. I love it. I think as I said at the beginning of this podcast, what you're saying is true, mate, because when I started The Good Builder, you didn't come and say, how does HazardCo get involved? Or you were like, what are you doing? How do I help you out? Sit down, tell me what you're doing.
Yeah.
You're going to get rid of time. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And we sat down for hours at that thing, mate.
Yeah.
And that's what you're about. You gave me your time. You've given me your time a couple of times now, just chatting about The Good Builder, the industry, what to look at, what's out there, who to talk to. You've given contacts. Great stuff, mate.
It's a great platform.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
And, it shows in the audience that you've got and what you're getting, and how many people are willing to come in and sit here and take their time, because I think it's important that we have these sorts of platforms where it's not just about a supplier, it's not just about a builder. There's this cross sectional variety of people from the industry, giving their insights and input into how we make it better.
Yeah, no, that's so cool. Well, mate, on your sort of leadership team, you're one of the heads of the senior leadership team over HazardCo now. In terms of your leadership, do you think your fitness and that sort of stuff, or is it your background? What gave you those leadership qualities? How did they sort of develop?
My dad was in the army.
Oh,
in South Africa.
you are very disciplined.
Well, yeah. So, he was a pretty strict man. So, he did instill a fair bit of discipline, but I think, a lot of that's self-led as well. The doing hard things, getting up in the morning before sunrise, getting up while it's still dark, going and, absolutely smashing your body, in a good way.
Yeah.
And then coming back the next day and doing it again. That takes, I guess, a form of mental discipline.
Yeah.
There's a book which I absolutely love, and I've recommended for any of the any leaders or anyone really.
Yeah.
It's called Radical Candor.
I have never heard of it.
Yeah, it's about written by an ex-Google exec.
Oh, wow.
And they talk about the, they talk about care deeply and challenge directly.
Yeah.
And I feel like, I've taken that on. I think my team would agree with me.
I agree with you.
Yeah. So, an example would be getting to know your people really well,
Yeah.
caring deeply about them and what motivates them, that when you challenge them, that they see it as a motivation, not as a negative criticism.
Yeah.
So if you and I, we came out of this podcast and I said to you, mate, that was shit.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, I could have done way better than that.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
next time I will, rather
Yeah.
than, oh, all right, well, I'm out now. So I think I've always taken that on.
Yeah.
I think I'm very empathetic and very aware of, how each of my the people within, and not just in my team, I think in the wider business, I like to think I get involved in understanding what everyone goes through.
And that's why these guys and girls text message, man. But yes.
Yeah,
it is. And it's with me too. Like you said, you think deeply and you actually give feedback, not criticism at all, because you deeply care. And that was, you explained it very well, because that was like how I felt with the first meeting with you around the Good Builder.
Yeah.
It was like, you actually give a shit. Like, you're one of the guys that went, I should give a shit about what you're doing. I give a shit about you as a person. I want you to be successful. I want this industry to be successful.
Yeah.
So here's a few hits and tips on how you can do it.
Yeah. You want people to do well. I've been in the industry, 14, 15 years, something like that.
Yeah.
It's a big part of your life, and you want it to thrive, and you want builders and trades you just want everyone to do well. Right?
Yeah.
And you hate seeing these cycles where the market dips and, you're seeing businesses going solvent.
Yeah.
It's just, because a lot of time and effort and hard work goes into that, and, come out of the end of that in a negative way is just not what we want to see from anyone.
Yeah.
So, that's why at HazardCo, we're always trying to bring on new partners.
Yeah.
How can we elevate the industry?
Yeah.
Not just in health and safety, but how do we elevate the industry itself? So,
yeah. I see that, mate. Like some of the things that you got coming out over the next few months as well well, you've already proved it with a lot of the AI seminars that you've done with different groups. You were constantly putting on educational stuff. And then, I don't know if I could talk about it. I know it's in the works, but you're coming out with a pretty cool campaign, bringing in a number of people from the industry to talk about, different things and share knowledge. I think that's very cool.
Yeah. We're always trying to, so we've got 13,000 odd customers across Australia and New Zealand.
Right.
That's between builders and trades.
Yeah.
Obviously we want to see more, but what we ultimately want to see is we want to see people not just ticking a box, taking health and safety seriously.
Yeah.
But also starting conversations about it.
Yeah.
Because I think the biggest blocker to anyone not doing health and safety is not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Where to start.
Yeah.
How to start.
Absolutely.
It's not necessarily, here's a cool app.
Yeah.
It's going to solve your issues with health and safety. No. Like, you actually need advisors within the industry, giving you the insights that you need, giving you a leg up, a star, on how to get things done. And then underpinning that with a bit of technology and some systems and processes to go forward.
Yeah. Love it.
So, we see ourselves as a service business underpinned by some really cool technology that guides builds and trade through doing their health and safety and keeping compliant.
Well, I love it, mate. And that's a good segue. Let's talk a little bit about HazardCo.
Yeah.
So, what do you do? You've become one of the household names in safety. Obviously now.
But we're a New Zealand based business. Our global head office is in New Zealand, in Wellington. The business was started 17 years ago by a couple of tradies who thought, the whole she'll be right, mate, enough of that.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can't 100%. Raise the bar.
Yeah. Love it.
We've been in Australia about 6 years.
Yeah.
And we've grown. We've got some of the biggest building brands that support us. And I say support us because, we're still a growing business within Australia. There's still a lot of work for us to do to really make our products like, top for everyone.
Yeah.
I think we've got a very good service, a very good product.
Awesome.
But, we're always looking at ways to improve that.
I think that's a Craig O'Leary thing though, mate. You are just about constant improvement. And I know, I'm sorry to cut you, but I know anywhere you go, you are going to push that business in a good way, to become better and better every day, because it's in you. And if you're a leader in a business, I know who you are now, Craig. We've been knowing each other 10 years.
Yeah.
You're going to do it.
Yeah. So, in HazardCo, we talk about the 1%ers.
Yeah. That's it.
Just tweaking the little things here and there, the day-to-day tactics, the systems, the process. It's just refining. It's not going to take a silver bullet, but it is going to take what we do day to day collectively to refine, tweak, and improve, what we deliver to our customers.
Yeah.
I think we've got, 3,000 builders in Australia now. That grows month on month. And we love that builders trust us to help them with the health and safety. That's great. But, what else can we do? How else can we support builders who want to be good builders, who want to put in systems and processes that help them stay compliant, that help them look professional to their customers. So that, and that's why we look for other partners like the Good Builder, like, our friends at Reese, who are doing an amazing job to really help their customers be better, develop systems and processes, and really elevate. So that's who we are. We're a little business. We've got a head office in Melbourne, global head office in Wellington, and we've got our 6 legends over in the UK as well. So
you were recently over there.
I was recently over there. Yeah.
So what were you doing over there? Were you helping
again?
Training or just helping out? I saw that. Yeah, put up on LinkedIn, just helping out.
Just chipping in. Looking at what we can do to improve. We've got a brilliant team of guys over there and girls, and they're doing a fantastic job. It's a very similar sort of market in terms of the types of legislation, so it translates nicely.
Okay.
Nice. We got to our 200th customer over there recently, which is a great achievement.
That's phenomenal
for being, I think 10 months over there. So that's fantastic. So love the guys over there. And who knows what's next?
Yeah, mate. And again, I think that just reiterates what I think about you.
Yep.
You're the Aussie, chief commercial officer. You're over here doing this, and you head to the UK to go lend a hand and tell them what it's all about, mate.
Yeah.
So that's the type of guy that Craig is, guys. So it's cool.
Yeah. Well, look, I think builders do a great job of building.
Yeah. Yeah.
They don't go and study and do what they get their certifications to do health and safety.
Yeah.
Health and safety is such a grey area, and that's where it's important that if you do implement a system or process around health and safety, that you've got guidance.
Yeah.
And I think it's probably the one thing which stands us out against, other things in the market is our health and safety advisors who are there to help you as a builder or a trade get through whatever you need to get through to keep compliant.
Yeah.
In terms of the legislation, and it's almost like having a health and safety manager in your back pocket.
Yeah. And how good is that? And that's the thing that what I've found since we've started the Good Build, and me and you always talk pretty candidly, is there's all this cool stuff out there, but I think the biggest thing is also execution. If you don't have, like you said, someone there to provide you with the guardrails and help you actually do it, I don't think a lot of people are doing it. Like, I don't think there's a lot of people doing safety properly, unless they're using a platform like yours at HazardCo and having, and we've looked at, other safety platforms, of course, although we're mates, we look at others as well.
Yeah.
None of them seem to have that same sort of comprehensive approach of, having people there that can help you actually implement the systems and the processes as well, which I think is super important for builders.
Yeah, I mean, we think it's probably our differentiator within
big market.
They're a great resource to have. They keep everything within our system compliant and in line with any legislative changes, which is fantastic. Because it's all good having, an app with some templates and, if you got to ask the question, if work safe or safe work come on site and have a yarn to you, whatever's in there, is that going to be compliant? Or is it just something we've, we think we've ticked the box because we've got an app?
Exactly.
And everyone on site's got an app. So we've all got an app. That's great. What are we doing with the app?
That's right.
Health and safety at its bare bones is about communication.
And you were one of our first contributors to the platform, and you wrote that in the article.
At the bare bones is about communication. What is a builder who, is liable for that site? What is the difference from a contractor doing to communicate the potential risks on that site and the ways to mitigate it? Now, whether that's with HazardCo, whether that's with an Excel spreadsheet, whether that's with a Toolbox talk, at the bare minimum, we ask and we try to start conversations. Let's have a communication process in place.
And I know this might make you feel uncomfortable, but I think HazardCo does that for not uncomfortable, but that's what HazardCo does for builders. I think it buys them the speed and time as well. Like, you don't have to go and figure it out for yourself. They're all there, so you can just log on for such a nominal fee to have it all done for you. I think that's important. I know you didn't want to take it down that commercial route, but I'm going to for the builders out there, because, with an Excel spreadsheet, you still have to figure out what exactly is the process. What actually do I have to do? Where HazardCo has all new checklists.
And the customer service team and the advisors, they're there on the phone.
And I know you're not a salesperson, so you weren't talking about, but I just wanted you to.
I am a salesperson.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted to iterate that in the, you know what I mean? Great.
So the way in which we go about it is really with the customer in mind. We want to ensure that what they're paying for has the value. And they see the value in that. We love, although we don't love, but we love when, we get a call and we've had an incident on site and, they've said, we got in touch with their team. They took us through it. It was a breeze. All our documents were in line. Safe work or work safe came on site. They got the documents, they collected it. And sometimes we even hear, safe work came on site. They had a look at the HazardCo sign and they said, no, you'll be right. Like, that's not always going to happen.
No.
But those sorts of things, are good to hear. And we do think we deliver quite a robust value to our customers.
No, that's really cool to hear. Reminded me of an old story. When I was at GJ's on that New Zealand trip that we hung out a lot on, I had the trophies in Saran wrap, went through the airport security. They pulled me over, and I think they thought they were bricks of cocaine. And then I said to them, I'm with GJ Gardner, and they went, you're fine. Close the suitcase and let me go. They're only trophies, but they allowed me to go and do that. And it was the strength of the brand. I know that's a bit of a funny take on that, and it's true, but it's the strength of the brand, as in when safety officers and things come up and they see HazardCo on the signs. And they go, you're good, right?
I mean, we love seeing our HazardCo scan boards in the wild.
I
even get.
I'll take a few pictures. We'll chuck them up.
I even get a few text messages from some of our friends at Reese. They're like, I saw HazardCo in the wild. Text.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's so good. I think we actually ended up being on a couple of TV shows, just out of sheer luck, really.
Really?
Which is always good to see.
Was that the block?
No, it wasn't the block. We actually did end up on.
I think you did.
It was a few years ago. But we're at a conference. We're at the expo, the Carpentry Expo.
A
few weeks back.
I
think they were doing one of the other tool suppliers, and I could see that there has a signage in the back. I had to screenshot it, rewind and screenshot it, send it to the team. It has national TV. How good.
Love it.
Yeah.
That is so cool. Well, mate, October.
Yes.
This is an important, I should have put this at the start of the pod, actually. It's Safety Month.
It is National Safety Month.
So it's a pretty big month. What are some of the biggest messages, or what are some of the messages that you'd like to put out to the builders there? What are you guys doing in Safety Month? We've got to put a whole heap of stuff out post this pod and discussion, but what would you say to builders out there?
It's more an awareness thing.
Okay.
And really, I talk about having a culture of safety leadership
Yeah.
within the industry.
Yeah.
And that's not necessarily just the builders themselves. I would like to challenge suppliers
Yeah.
to do the same thing. Start having the conversation. You know, there's a lot of big suppliers out there who have, you know, safety or zero harm or, you know, as their number one business goal.
Yeah.
How does that translate to your end customer? What are we doing as building product manufacturers to ensure that, you know, our customers are better customers?
Wow.
And I can tell you there's some Reese, good example of this. You know, their Reese Business Services team, they're out there talking about HazardCo, talking about safety. You know, the Dulux team. I was filming a webinar down in Melbourne last week with the Dulux Acrotex team. You know, that's with their customers, raising awareness around, you know, health and safety, but not necessarily like, oh, let's just talk about health and safety. Let's communicate as a community as to what's important, but not what's important also, you know, what is actually legally required.
Yeah.
Because the biggest blocker for builds and trades doing health and safety is not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
So let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's educate the market on actually what's required, but also what can we recommend to just go a little bit above and beyond what's legally required. Because often, you know, what's legally required, we end up ticking the box. Yeah, let's tick the box. Great.
Yeah.
But how can we take it one step further?
Yeah.
You know, how can we ensure that, you know, the likes of Mitre 10, who we partner with as well, when their reps go on site, that they are safe to go on a building site.
100%.
You know, and they're a big supporter of ours, the Mitre 10 team. You know, what are we doing to ensure that it's not just the builder, the trade? You know, there's a lot of other people involved. And health and safety is not just about ticking the box and covering your eyes. The ripple effect of an incident happening is far greater than the two people or one person involved. There are communities, there are families, there are businesses, there are livelihoods at stake.
Yeah, people forget about it.
You know, unfortunately, we see deaths in the construction industry all too often, something like 30 a year.
Yeah.
That's just
for
not
doing
good
your
enough.
job. You're dying from your job.
And that's just not good enough. 50% of builds and trades have nothing in place for health and safety. 50%.
That is different.
I think it's probably about 45 now, but
it's around that. So half now.
Yeah, one in two.
That's crazy.
Builders, you know, might have nothing.
I was nodding my head everything you said then because, you know, Matt, I used to do a bit of video around construction sites, and I remember one time I was on a particular construction site of a builder. I won't say who they are, but they're a local Southeast Queensland builder, and I know they got taken out by a crane.
Yeah,
and there was like, you know, to my thinking about it, some of it was my fault, I think. Some of it was their fault. I didn't know where I could go. I wasn't looking out for what was going to be happening. I wasn't. Toolbox talked about what was going on that day. And a thing just missed my head. And I swear to God, if it hit me, I wouldn't be sitting here today.
And all that
I was a videographer.
And all that would have taken is a bit of communication. Hey, mate, just FYI, this is happening here. These are some of the risks. Just take care. You know? So, you know, you've got what's legally required, and then you've got, you know, how can we...
That's what you're talking about.
How can we raise the bar? You know, how can we just do a little bit more to ensure that, you know, everyone in this industry goes to work and goes home safe at the end of the day? So, you know, like I said, we've got a lot of suppliers. We love the support that we get from the associations, we're now partners with various HIAs.
Love it.
It's fantastic.
Well done.
You know, Master Builders, certainly, we're partners with in some of the states. And then, you know, like I said, we've got our we call it merchant partners, Reese, Dulux, Mitre 10. So, you know, bit by bit, we can just communicate amongst everyone and just raise the bar. So I challenge any of the suppliers out there.
Let's do it.
You know, what are you doing to raise the bar in health and safety for your end customer, for the builders, for the trades? And if you don't know, reach out to me. You know, let's have a conversation about it. Let's see what we can do.
I love it. That is so cool. And it's a great way to think, because there is a bigger part of a build as anyone else as well. You know what I mean? And they can influence what's going on in there.
Absolutely.
That is so cool.
I think we all lead with this culture of safety leadership.
Yeah.
We can definitely move the needle because it needs to be moved.
Yeah,
It's not good enough.
It's not good enough, mate.
Yeah.
30 deaths, like you said, is imagine that.
Yeah.
Mate.
1 in 2 people in the industry to speak to probably has nothing in place.
Yeah.
As far as health and safety.
That is just so scary. And it's such a dangerous job, mate.
Yeah.
I know. I've been on anyway, I won't go into it because it's the good builder, but I've been on a few roofs with a drone and a camera and no safety gear and just hanging around by myself.
Yeah.
That
happens all the time.
Yeah.
And it's all good until it's not.
Yeah. You're right, mate. Well, the HazardCo platform, people using how do people use it day to day? What does it sort of look like using that platform day to day, and the services you provide day to day? You touched on your safety managers or personnel or people that support businesses. What sort of happens?
Yeah, so we've got health and safety advisors.
Yeah.
That are there to support our customers.
Yeah.
So anyone who's a member of HazardCo
Wow.
gets access to our health and safety advisors for just general health and safety insights, information, help. We've also got our 24/7 incident support. So if something does happen on site, you can reach out to them. And unfortunately, we do see that too, more than we'd like to. So yeah, we do.
So is there a measure, a KPI?
We report on incidents, each month, and it's not great, but it does happen.
Yep.
So, but the more we talk about it, the more awareness we can drive around it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then we've got this app and platform which really underpins all that.
Yeah.
It allows builders to manage their sites safely and against the legislation that's required.
Yeah.
And it allows trades to know when they go on site that there is systems and processes in place that are there to protect them.
Yeah.
So, like I said, whether it's us or someone else, bare minimum, identify the risks and putting things to minimize those risks.
Yeah.
HazardCo does that really well and seamlessly through our app, our hazard board, and then our back-end platform. We talk about pre-site, understanding that there are certain legalities required, trades and builders to be on site.
Yep.
So we look after that.
Yeah.
We look at on-site. So how do we control the risks on site? And then we've got the oversight. So, the data and the metrics behind the safety. So it covers all the bases, and hopefully, as we go on this journey, we can develop more, implement more, just to drive more value, but also, just raise the bar on how we do health and safety in the industry.
Yeah. And the other thing, which we did just touch on very briefly, and I know you might not count it as something that you do day to day, but you do, is all these webinars and educational things that they put out there as well, Craig.
Yeah.
So do you actually have to be a member to attend those? Or
no.
Can any builder, they can just jump on it?
Yeah. I mean, look, this is where our partners come in handy, is how do we use the networks of our partners, of the DualLux, of the Reese, the Minor 10, to really get their customers exposed to this information and insight. Yeah. Because like I said, the biggest blocker is not knowing what to do, but there's businesses like us out there who are, trying to educate the market and, what's required, what's legally required, what's recommended. Yeah. How do you be good at safety? Yeah. What's not very safe? Yeah. And those happen all the time. I mean, if you keep an eye on the LinkedIn, the socials and whatnot, we do put it out there. We've got some great partners in, to builder coaches and that our customers are across. And so we deliver a lot of content. You do. You can sign up to our newsletter. I reckon you do the best content out of any brand. Like, no offense, Colorbond, but Colorbond will, and I know you did a bit of work with BlueScope, and we both know them very well. Yeah. Colorbond guys will just put out pictures of Colorbond, and it's beautiful and aspirational. And sure, I'd love some of those homes. But if I was a builder, I would follow HazardCo, because the amount of stuff, like I said, it's the safety stuff, but there's AI webinars, and a whole heap of different stuff. It's not just about you. Yeah, it truly isn't. We had 400 businesses register for our AI webinar recently. Freaking massive. That's and that wasn't safety related.
Yeah. You probably didn't even talk. You probably went, hey, where HazardCo? Here's some AI.
You know, we're in the process of doing some AI stuff ourselves to make health and safety a bit easier. But
cool.
really, like, it's, you know, how do we just raise the bar? How do we just raise the bar? Like, how do we make more good builders? And I'd love to talk to BlueScope and Color Bonding in, because I think there's a lot of things we could do there to raise the bar.
Yeah.
You know, the number one incident on site, what do you think?
Roofing?
Falling from heights.
Yeah.
The number one.
Yeah.
Falling from heights. What are we doing as an industry to mitigate that risk? You know, I know a company does a lot of roofing, so
yeah,
potentially we can have a chat.
Yeah, I think we should
work there. Yeah,
I think we should.
We'd love to do, you know, those sorts of webinar series with those sorts of brands where we can really, you know, reach more people.
Yeah,
we're only, you know, there's only 20 of us sitting in Melbourne.
Wow.
You know, and we have people in field, but really, like, that's where we rely on our partners and things like this to really just drive awareness around it.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying, mate. That's what I love about what you do. And as I said, anywhere you go, there will be things that other brands just don't do. And I'm, you know, I know you've got a great team and I know you're a humble bloke, but I think because you're there, you look at things differently, you push limits to do things differently. So
yeah, look, like I said, we talk about the 1%ers and we're all on board with that. We all want to make this industry better.
Like that.
You know, HazardCo is just one of those vehicles to do that.
I think I'm going to steal that 1% of thing, actually. Mate, talking about the cool things that you do also, well, this is the same thing, your online OH&S sessions that are shortly coming up.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about them and what you're doing there, again, to educate the industry?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot coming. So again, you know, if you want to learn a bit more about it, jump on the website, you know, have a look, register for our newsletter because it will be coming out in that. We have a comp running at the moment, a holiday competition for Safety Month. Builders and traders can get involved. You can win a $4,000 holiday voucher. So that's on the website. You can go and have a look at that.
Put the links for
you'll put something in there.
Pump it out.
Yeah. No, I think, you know, again, that's just what we're trying to do. We're trying to raise awareness.
Yeah.
Yes, it's important for us to bring on new customers and acquire new customers.
Yeah.
But I'm so passionate about just starting the conversation around health and safety because, like I said, it's not good enough. So, the more we can do to educate the industry on what's required and what's needed, the more we start to raise the bar around it.
Yeah.
It makes it safer for all of us to work in.
Yeah.
Even when you're doing videography.
Oh, yeah.
On site.
Oh, mate, absolutely.
Yeah. You know,
I'll tell you what, that day I was like, I remember it was like my probably closest near-death experience. Just went, I felt it go past and I was like, if that hit me, I was done.
Yeah, you'll think twice now going on site and doing some video. You're like, oh, where's your barcode to scan in? Where's your QR code to scan in?
I know.
Yeah, so look, we do a lot of content. We've got some great help centers online, but really the best way to find out about, you know, HazardCo is the website, or just get in touch with us. We'd love to have a chat. You know, we're more than happy to have a very casual conversation around what's your current system and process? How's it working? What's missing? How can we help? If we can't help, that's great. If you've got a great, robust system in place, brilliant. But, you know, this is where we can potentially fill some holes.
Love it. Love it, mate. That is so cool. Where do you see sort of the biggest challenges that builders face in safety? Is it just you said not knowing what to do. We kind of touched on this. And you touched on a bit about community, and I don't want to assume anything, but I feel like if they don't have that sort of community around them with that safety minded and safety mindset and people that actually care about that sort of stuff, that they're not going to implement it and things like that. Do you think that's something that builders, because a lot aren't as interested in this portion of their business, that it does become a bit of a challenge for them?
Do you think health and safety makes them money?
Oh, well, it should. No, it does. I'm so sorry. It does, because if they don't, if they're
team lose their money.
They'll lose them. Yeah, absolutely.
Can lose their money.
Yeah, no, and no, you're right. It will make them money as well. I think we've got to start on the challenge day, Craig. Like at some point, I'm like, I don't want to rephrase things for the sake of going. And I know what you're saying, because it's the way that we talk to builders. Builders understand money.
Yeah. cash flow. That's probably one of the biggest things which can affect a builder's,
Yeah.
whether they succeed or fail.
Yeah. Oh,
Does health and safety affect cash flow? If something happens, probably.
does, yeah.
So are we putting in a buffer to mitigate, any issues moving forward? But at the same time, what if HazardCo was put in place and integrated with, BuildExact, and then was integrated with Xero? Now we're talking about a growth enabler.
Yeah.
Now we're talking about how we become more professional in what we do. We start to be able to grow because we can win tenders versus businesses who may not have those systems and processes in place. It forms part of the fundamentals and the foundation of how to potentially grow your business. Yes, health and safety, massive grey area, always falls down the priority list for the most part. And often we find, to have a good conversation about health and safety, it's a timing thing. We've got to really get to people if either an incident's happened, or they're thinking about it at the time. Other than that, it shifts down the priority list. And that's because, for one, we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
There's a massive grey area.
Yeah.
No one went to TAFE to go and, study health and safety. You touch on it a little bit.
Yeah.
But that's where we come in place. And then, it's obviously not, it's not making money. So, so how do we rephrase, what we're talking about around health and safety? How do we use health and safety with all the other systems and processes that we got to enable growth for our business?
Yeah. Well, I guess, that was really good explanation, me, Craig. I loved it, mate. You challenged me. It was cool. One of the things, again, back in the day, was when you talked about money, when you were talking, I was like, no, wait a minute. It can actually really affect your reputation, which does affect your money. You might remember, and I will mention the name, but there was a company called Gem Roofing that used to be around, and they rebranded. We were part of their rebrand. I was part of their actual rebrand, Craig.
Yeah.
And I didn't make people know that. And when I first met them, this was a few years ago, I said, why are you rebranding? And it was because that health and safety was on top of their mind. One of their truck drivers killed somebody.
Yeah.
And they had to rebrand the whole business.
Yeah.
And that was detrimental to cash flow.
Yeah.
They had to rebuild this whole thing under a new name and almost put the owners in the back seat.
Yeah.
And go that they're not even a part of it anymore. It was, it's interesting.
It is. I think I was at BuildExact around that time, maybe.
You were.
Yeah. Anyway, so I remember.
Maybe I shouldn't remember.
No,
but you were there, mate. Yeah.
That's fine. But again, like the conversation around this is so important, because often we find that health and safety only becomes serious when something happens. I was at an event the other night, and I was talking to a builder who's been speaking to us for about 6 months.
Wow.
I just don't know whether to, become a member. It's, it's fallen down the priority list. But we had an incident yesterday where half a brick wall fell on one of our trades. So, and I said, oh, okay. So do you want to get started and get set up? Yeah, I'm not too sure. This is the mindset of the industry.
It is,
because often they'll go to the cost and they go, oh, but that's $85 a month.
Yeah.
Okay. That's $85 a month to put systems and processes that could potentially save you dollars down the line.
Yeah.
But could also save you the anguish should something happen on site that becomes very serious and you've got to deal with the ripple effect of that community.
Yep.
So, we've seen prosecutions in the hundreds of thousands.
Yeah. And they're coming down on it in Victoria too.
Absolutely. All the various bodies have their blitzers.
Yeah.
And, we try to communicate that as much as we can.
I think I saw it through.
We do try to communicate as much as we can, but normally it's after the fact.
Yeah.
So, I do find that whole should we right thing is still very prevalent within the industry.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, it's all good till it's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's when it's too late.
Yeah, we were a bit deep at the time, but I even remember just talking personally, mate, that when I heard about the whole thing, I really want to be part of this.
Mm. Yeah.
Just being honest with you.
Yeah, yeah.
In terms of like, just morals. I'm not saying there was anything immoral about what happened. It was a total accident, but it was like,
You want to be aligned to good
good
business.
Good business. Exactly. Good business. Positive stuff. Yeah.
That take accountability and responsibility to not only build a fantastic house at the end of the day, but have systems and processes in place that, make it a great place to work.
Yeah.
Not only for the employees, for their subbies as well, knowing that they can go there and that it's a safe place to work. They're going to go there, do the job that they hate to do, that they studied to do. Health and safety's, less of a consideration because there's a communication process and they can go home.
Yeah.
Safe at the end of the day.
Yeah. No, that's cool. We've been in the industry a little while, Craig.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I thought you knew those guys. I was like, bet you.
Yeah. I've only been on the safety side for, probably 3 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Prior to that, it was always, how can we push brand and push product and, with very little thought around, what does that mean for the end customer? What does that mean for the builder, the trade, installing, putting up our products, So I'm super passionate about at least starting the conversation and trying to raise the bar within the industry because, like I keep saying, it is shit. It is not good enough.
Wow. Yeah. No, I knew some of the stats that you've been, saying today, Trey, but I didn't know half of them. And it's pretty alarming, mate.
Yeah. And look, I don't want to, harp on too much about this, but HazardCo customers are, we've done the stats, we've done the data, are 2 times safer than the industry. But
that in itself, mate.
But I think, you probably find if you had systems and processes in place that you'd find the same thing. So we just give them a really easy tool to manage it. And I think as long as you've got tools and systems and processes, you're going to be 2 times safer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's a great step for us. We like that.
Yeah.
Our ultimate goal is to protect the person at the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
We're there for the trade at the top of the ladder. And in the broadest sense, we're there predominantly for small to medium builders who may not have the capital to go and employ a health and safety manager or develop their own health and safety system.
Yeah.
We just, here you go.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I mean, for the $85 a month, to maintain it, to keep up with legislation, to do all the things that you guys are doing in the background, to make an app.
Yeah.
But beyond all of that, I think is just, such a worthwhile investment for so many businesses. And as you say, the start of 2 times more safer than other businesses who don't.
But ultimately, whether it's us or any other, just have something.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yeah.
Have something,
Yeah.
Let's just make this industry safer because it's not good enough.
That's cool. Yeah. Well, speaking of having something and builders, what would be a couple of tips that you think that they could implement pretty immediately to help them be a bit safer?
Do you know one of the easiest things to do is a Toolbox talk?
Yeah, wow. Cool.
Our app allows you to sit there. It uses dictation, so it'll dictate as you're talking.
Oh, wow.
And then you can just snap a photo of anyone there. Bang. There's your communication process. There's, the risks communicated.
Yeah.
The risk mitigation process is communicated, and anything else that's happening on that side. Like, that's a really basic thing to do.
Yeah.
That's an easy one for everyone to do, everyone to get involved. Again, it's got to start at the top, and there's got to be that safety leadership culture.
Yeah.
It's got to start from the top. The other thing is any form of communication process. So Toolbox Talk is one, but whether that's spreadsheet, writing on a piece of paper, as long as it's site specific and relevant to what's happening on that site, that's probably all you need.
Yeah.
But the other tip is just talk about it.
Yeah.
Let's just communicate more.
Yeah.
We can do more in the industry to raise the bar. And I think the more we talk about it, the more conversations we have, whether it's to tick a box or to, to sign off on a safe work method statement,
Yeah.
whatever that might be. We just need to talk about it more.
Yeah.
We need to get everyone involved. All the large building component companies, let's all get involved. Let's just raise the bar, because it's just, I don't know. I love this industry. Been in it a long time, and I just want to see it flourish.
Yeah. Yeah. Like that. Absolutely. And yeah, you mentioning about suppliers and things like that, and you getting involved in the safety aspect. I think that's really cool. Big shout out to Reese and the guys there, doing that and getting out there. And as you said, we're not picking on anyone, and there's other, roofing material suppliers and things like that. And there's the roll formers, of course, that can also talk safety when people come in and pick up their sheets of metal. But, I think more brands, like you said, that are doing this, I think better industry we're going to be.
Yeah, a lot of big organizations are very internally focused around safety, and that's important. And
Right.
and they are
Never thought of it like
they are very good at that. But how can we take what we've learned and the systems and the processes that they've developed internally, and how can we just push that out to a wider community?
Yeah.
Because we are a community.
Yeah.
Right? The building community involves the trades.
Yeah.
It involves the builders. It involves the suppliers, the associations. It's a community.
Yeah.
Let's just get it out there as a community.
Yeah. When you were talking about community earlier, right?
Yeah.
Is this what you were talking about?
Yeah.
Is this what you wanted to sort of mention?
Yeah.
It's everyone.
That's why I love CrossFit is the community.
Yeah.
Everyone's there to support everyone. You want to see everyone do really well.
Yeah.
There's outside of the CrossFit gym, there's the community, there's the coffees, it incorporates people who, my 8-year-old does CrossFit. She goes to CrossFit. And then, I coach 80-year-olds, and they are absolute weapons, so it's not just for, one certain demographic.
Yeah.
It's a community of like-minded people. And I think that's what we need to do here is in this, we need to be a community of like-minded people and like-minded around health and safety.
Yeah.
So how can we push that out from our big corporates into our smaller organizations, into our trades, and ultimately into just a safer industry?
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. You're completely right. I've been in so many businesses, and like you said, it's always like, let's get zero injuries.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
But we are thinking internally, never thinking outside of the box. And again, not picking on any roll formers, but you think about Metro, they'd be out delivering sheets of metal like you wouldn't believe around Australia.
Yeah.
Do they focus externally about talking to their builders and fencers and roofers and partners about being safe?
Yeah, I mean, you could ask
even the homeowners when they deliver fence. We recently had a fence delivered. It's fine, and didn't need anything at this time. I kind of sort of know what I'm doing, but but there was no chat about safety.
No.
It was not even about sharp edges on the sheets of metal they delivered.
Yeah, it's just a community. It's just a conversation that we need to have.
Yeah.
Are delivery drivers scanning in and inducting themselves on sites?
Yeah.
Probably most of the time, though.
Yeah.
Do they feel comfortable driving onto that site, delivering onto that site, knowing that there's no health and safety system in process? Are we comfortable with that?
Yeah.
Is that okay? I don't think that's okay.
No.
Why aren't we asking the question?
Yeah.
So, look, lots we can do, lots of improvement to be had.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a community to do it. So.
Yeah, I think so. Well, looking ahead with HazardCo, what's on the cards for HazardCo? What are you doing next to support and educate builders? You got the OH&S sessions, or what's next on the cards?
I mean, we just continue to develop our system. For one, whether it's to make it easier to use, make it more streamlined. We've got a lot of integrations on the horizon.
Yeah, cool.
So one of the exciting integrations that's coming is with Simpro.
Yeah, wow.
And there's a lot of people that's been asking for Simpro. We're integrated with BuildExact, which makes it easier for BuildExact customers.
Yeah.
We're integrated with Procore.
Yeah.
So if anyone uses Procore, there's that
messaging platforms.
Yeah. So that's exciting.
Yeah.
And then, there's a few other things in the pipeline which I can't talk to you about,
Yeah.
but we've got some good partners on board.
Yeah.
We've got some good things happening on our roadmap as
Yeah.
far as the technology goes, but also services. So it's an exciting time for us. Look, we're trying to grow in Australia. Yes, it's all good. Yeah, us trying to make $1 here and there, but again, our number one goal is to protect the person at the top of the ladder.
Yeah.
So the more we can do that, the better it is for the whole industry. And then obviously, our UK team, hopefully we can just get more traction over there because they're going great guns over there. So
yeah. Well, for all our builders out there, for $85 a month, and I'm getting a bit salesy here, but seriously, safety is so important. Go and check it out. Go and chat with Craig. We'll drop all the links below. I think that's so important.
Yeah.
It's something that you guys out there should really consider.
Yeah, you're not going to get the hard sell. The guys are there to hopefully educate.
Yeah.
And potentially understand where the gaps are.
Yeah.
What you're currently doing. If you're not doing anything, there's a big gap. So we can fill that. Or more than happy to have those consultative conversations.
Yes.
Versus a hard sell. We're here to talk about it and communicate, not just go hard sell. So
the way I look about it, if we're going to talk figures and builders like cash flow and cash and all those sorts of things, if we're going to talk figures, in my head as you're talking over this last hour about all this stuff, I'm thinking $85 a month. All right. How many hours per month would it take me to actually put together something like this and keep it up to date with legislation, making sure it's done, having someone there, to provide support? You couldn't do that for $85. And especially if you're a builder and you want to be paid $100, $150 an hour, you can't tell me that you can put a safety thing together, a platform like this, and keep it up to date for 45 minutes to pay yourself $85 an hour. If people are going to equate it into money terms, I think it's more than money anyway, because in the end, it's people's lives.
Yeah, exactly. There's the downtime hours as well.
Yeah.
If someone does get injured, let's say it's not a serious injury, let's say it's just a small injury.
Day off,
2 days off, that's downtime, right? So we're talking about dollars there. And really for most builders that we work with, we're saving them up to 50% of admin time on health and safety, So that could mean various things to different people, but
I knew I would drag that out from you by the end of the pod, because I know it's been such a great chat, and you're such a, I know you're a you're good at sales and you're a salesperson, but you like to be, you're not trying to push anything. You're not a pushy person, but I needed to drag that out of you.
Yeah.
Because, and those stats, because we really think it's super important here at A Good Builder. And again, you've been a massive supporter of us. We're a massive supporter of you. We love the platform.
Yeah.
So I think that's pretty cool, Craig. But I have one last question for you, which is the curling one.
Yeah.
We called the Good Builder.
Yeah.
What do you think makes a good builder, Craig?
Look, could go into the weeds here, but I think for me, good builder is someone who implements systems and processes that enable them to grow, growth enablers.
Yeah. I love it.
And at the end of the day, using those to put an end product together, which the customer's happy with, is great.
Love it.
Because then we know that whatever the end product is, it's been done with care and with a professional experience in place.
Yeah.
And often if you've got those basic systems and processes, they translate to other things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mate, I think you've had the most simplest but comprehensive answer on the good builder in terms of what makes a good builder.
Yeah, there you go.
But I think you have to. Like, I truly believe if you have all the systems and processes around how you're going to actually do the thing, how you're going to be a leader in your team, how you're going to do a culture in your team, how you're going to do your how can you lose?
Yeah.
You know what you're doing. You've got a way of doing it, and you deliver it to that standard.
Yeah. How you do one thing is how you do everything.
And that is you.
Yeah.
And I think that is the pod.
Nice.
And I think that summarizes it. I think that was a nice end to the pod because it really summarizes, honestly, everyone out there. Obviously, HazardCo as a business, I probably didn't know it as well as I did until we sat down on this couch because he was Craig, but I know Craig as a person. And I think that summarizes you pretty well, mate.
Yeah, awesome.
Thank you for being on the pod, mate.
No, good to have you.
Pleasure.
Love it.
Legend.
Thanks, mate.